Welcome back to Kurt's Corner, the March Madness edition. With me, as usual, is Dave Hagan and the March Madness maven, Emily Rhodes. We're here to make your bracket choices for you. Just listen to us. We've got it all handled. Not that the three of us particularly agree necessarily on a lot. Emily is one of the lovely and talented and hardworking servers you will find here at Broad Ripple Tavern. So when you come in this week, get your bracket. It's right here. It's sponsored by RP Lux. Dave Hagan, the shipping and receiving director for RP Lux Residential. We'll get that handled. Shipping and receiving?
That's correct.
All right, excellent. Very good. So come in and get your bracket, fill it out, play for free. RP Lux Residential is gonna give out some gift cards to the people who finish the best, and not just the people who pick IU to go all the way. Although I'm sure there will be plenty of those.
Because that's probably not going to happen.
Right. Well, let's start with IU.
Excellent.
What do you think about IU?
I think IU probably got a little shortchanged on their seeding, but what a fabulous little section of the bracket here with Carolina, IU, and Kentucky. All, two of those three are going to play each other somehow or another. I see IU handling Chattanooga. And because I'm an IU guy, you had to say IU beat Kentucky. That's just what we do, which should happen. The problem then is they're going to face North Carolina. They can beat North Carolina. They could probably beat any team on here, so long as it's not as close game. It becomes a close game, and you've got Tom Crean going up against Roy Williams or any one of another 20 coaches here. IU has no chance. How do you lose to Michigan? How do you lose a lot of times when they lose in close games and give up leads and all this kind of stuff?
It's the in-game adjustments. You think that Crean doesn't have the...
Horrible. He can recruit. He brings in good players. They're more improved this year. He's done better this year than he has in the past.
Certainly saved his job.
No question. But he is not a big-time great basketball coach.
Emily, IU going to do anything more than win a couple games?
Probably not,
Okay.
but I would like to think better of them, so I am going to pull for them the entire way.
Well, there'll be a lot of people here at Broad Ripple Tavern cheering for IU. I don't know that they can withstand the type of firepower that North Carolina has. Yogi Ferrell's had a fantastic senior season, has put himself in a position to play basketball overseas in Croatia or somewhere delightful in Europe. So look for that, I suppose. Coming out of the East, Emily, are you North Carolina?
Yes.
Yes, North Carolina.
Yes.
Dave, North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm North Carolina. Obviously, I like Xavier a lot too. I don't see this will be I don't have anything big, extravagant in terms of upsets or anything going on here in this bracket. I see things being fairly well close to chalk, and nothing particularly interesting. I still see that North Carolina Xavier.
I have them playing each other as well, only I have Xavier winning. They have a couple of guys, Jalen Reynolds and the other kid they have, the other senior now, his name escapes me. A couple of guys that are both 6'10". They have a 6'5" Sumner, their freshman point guard. I think will give a lot of other point guards trouble. He's a freshman, but their defense is so strong that he can take a lot of chances on defense, play that Allen Iverson style defense, go for a lot of steals, and have huge guys behind you, at the rim that can play rim defender. So look for North Carolina and Xavier then out of the East. Let's move down to the Midwest,
okay,
where you feel like Michigan State probably could have been the 1 seed here.
No question. How do you win the Big Ten? And all talking heads sit there and tell you that Kansas and Michigan considered two of the best teams in the country. You win the Big Ten tournament, and you're a 2. Virginia loses in their conference tournament to North Carolina. They're a 1. Now, it's probably semantics because you could just flip-flop these two, and one's a 1, one's a 2. Ultimately, probably doesn't matter. I see them eventually. They're going to face each other. But even in that matchup, Michigan State's a better team. At least has more offense. Obviously, Izzo is no stranger to this scenario, so you got to like Sparty.
Absolutely. Denzel Valentine, one of the players don't know if he won Player of the Year in the Big Ten this year. I think that he did. Certainly will be one of the most fantastic players to watch in the tournament, and they will make a deep run. I don't have Virginia going quite as far as you do. I'm on, as you'll see from the other two brackets, I'm on the Big 12 this year pretty hard. I've got Iowa State doing some damage against both Purdue and Virginia. Although I do like Purdue's big guys inside. They were never going to run with Virginia no matter what.
Right.
But I think that Iowa State will put them away. They have fantastic shooters there in Ames. Emily, what do you think about the Midwest? You have Michigan State going like we do, or what do you think? You think Virginia does it?
I have Virginia taking over Michigan State. I think that they're kind of an overrated team. I think that they've done very well, of course, but Dave and I don't agree in opinion. And I guess their record does speak, but at the same time, I think they're going to crack under the pressure.
Okay, this may be the last time Emily joins us on our show, but that's all right.
Yeah.
All right, moving to the South bracket. Kansas, of course, the number one overall seed in the tournament. Bill Self is there again, time and time again. Kansas has now won the Big 12. Is it 14 consecutive years? Is that right? They're there all the time, and I'm not sure that their path is all that difficult.
I agree. And what you just said leads me to try to debate your opinion on the Big 12 in that, okay, yet again, it's Kansas. All right, so is Kansas that much better and the rest just haven't gotten there, or everybody's up a little bit? I don't know, but I agree. I know some of the talking heads were also saying, oh, this is such a tough. I don't really see it. I don't see anything that stops Kansas from getting to the Final Four with the exception of Villanova. Nova could go both ways. They could lose to a spunky Iowa team, and you never know about Miami. They've got athletes, but
that's as far as I have Villanova going as well. Losing to Miami. Jay Wright is not interested in playing basketball real deep into March. I'm not sure what he has going on. Golf outings, speaking engagements. I'm not entirely sure. Emily, Kansas, is Kansas your team to beat in the South?
Absolutely. That and I'm so sorry. Keep going. Sorry.
No problem. You're right.
I did. I have Kansas. Absolutely.
Very good. Maryland has a chance to make a little noise. Yeah, you think so?
Absolutely.
Maryland, could they carry the banner for the Big Ten? Emily thinks so. Dave, what do you think?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they weren't consistent enough throughout the year in the Big Ten or otherwise. I have them beating Cal. I know everybody's high on Cal, but they're freshmen. I know you've got talent, but they're. I heard a good analogy the other day. You're going to have those three guys are going to blow out their first game and see all their paper clippings and wondering where they're going to be in the draft,
Sure.
this spring, and they're not going to really care about the rest of this. This is Kansas is to lose certainly up here.
Along that same line of Cal, you think that the Pac-12 is grossly overrated? They did bring 7 teams to the tournament, but you think that they are?
I'm not sure that they should have brought 7 compared to potentially some of these other conferences. I think still, granted, we're East Coast biased maybe a little bit, but you still have to say Big Ten, Big East, and ACC. There's your strength. Yes, Kansas is exceptional, and the Big 12 is top heavy. You've got a couple of really strong teams. I don't know how deep they are. Now, as we were discussing, the committee all of a sudden thinks the Pac-12 is a big-time basketball conference. I certainly don't see that. How Oregon gets a 1, I don't know. They showed a lot of love to Cal and Utah. I don't see that going very far. I just don't see it.
Well, I am going to be on the Big 12 train, not the Pac-12 train. Like I said, in the West, I've got Oklahoma and Baylor, both doing a ton of damage and meeting each other. In fact, to play for the Final Four. I also have A&M going out early as the 3 seed. You mentioned something about A&M earlier. This is the first time they've won their
Yes, this is the
conference.
first time they have won their conference in 30 years, since 1986.
Since 1986.
Correct.
So A&M is looking to make a splash for sure.
But let's
We'll
look
see
at
how long
that.
that
But
lasts.
let's analyze that just a step further. All right, A&M finally wins their conference. Kentucky's a little low this year now that they're in the SEC. Well, Kentucky's won the SEC since 1776. I
Sure,
think.
right.
And so before the A&M's in the Big 12, well, you had Kansas to deal with. So they're still not an elite program. They let Kentucky beat them in the SEC championship. They're going nowhere. In fact, I've even got there's my big upset, Green Bay beating A&M.
Ooh, you got to make a lot of cheeseheads happy with that pick.
I don't have a 5 or a 12 beating a 5, but I've got a 14 beating a 3.
We'll take that. That sounds pretty good. And unlike me, you're not on the Big 12, especially coming out of the West. You are a Duke man.
Well, I see Duke just because, once again, going with the coaching factor. Everybody says Duke doesn't have the depth. Baylor certainly can beat them. I don't question that. Either Baylor or Duke goes on to play either Texas or Oklahoma. So yeah, there's going to be a huge Big 12 showing here in the West, one way or the other. I've got St. Joe's taking out Oregon. You will not have a number 1 seed coming from the West going anywhere. I'm just especially not high on Oklahoma. I could see Texas doing some things simply once again because of their coach, but I am not an Oklahoma guy. I watched them a couple times this year. When you see 5 guys just stand around waiting for one guy to dribble some wild crazy, that's not
Waiting for a buddy to go do his thing.
That's not going to beat anybody.
Sure, all right. So overall, we've got 7 teams from the Pac-12, 7 from the Big 12, 7 each also from the ACC and Big 10, 3 from the SEC, and half the 10-team league of the Big East made the tournament. Locally, Butler is a big draw, and I remember working here those years when Butler was in the finals.
Yes.
And it was just a madhouse. It was so much fun to watch basketball here. It was great. So other than Xavier, anybody else in the Big East do that much for you? Butler, Seton Hall, Providence?
I see Seton Hall going nowhere, and in fact I see them going nowhere at all because I like Gonzaga. Once again, it's kind of a broken record. I like the consistent coaching. The past history showing me you've been here before, how to handle the team in this time of the year. I like Gonzaga. Seton Hall, they had a nice little flourish at the end of the year, but they're not the top end of the Big East. Xavier can be very strong. Villanova can be very strong. Providence probably can't go too far. They just got kind of a tough draw there with North Carolina.
What if I told you Providence hasn't won a tournament game since 1997? Would that surprise you a little bit?
It would surprise me a little bit, yes. They're not still, even before the Big East wasn't the Big East anymore, they still weren't the top. They weren't the Syracuse, they weren't the Georgetown, they weren't all that. They had a couple good years, that's fine. I see them winning this year because once again, they're going up against a Pac-12 team. Pac-12 may have a tough weekend in my opinion.
So that's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out if the Big Ten can shed they consistently get a label of not a great tournament conference. The basketball tends to be slow and bogged down, but of course don't tell Kentucky that, as Wisconsin busted them up last year in their chance for a perfect season. Well, then I guess we'll find out if there's the Pac-12, Big 12, Big 10, ACC, who's going to come out smelling like roses this time around. So we'll just go around the table here. Emily, your final 4. We'll start with Dave, I guess, with the final 4. All right. What do you like?
I've got Sparty. I've got Michigan State playing North Carolina.
Okay.
I like North Carolina there, just as a flip of a coin. Michigan State, I'd be happy with. As a Big Ten guy, as a Tom Izzo guy, I'm good with that. But I'll just to be contrarian go with the Tar Heels. The other side, just on my bracket here, I've got Duke squeezing in there just because, and Kansas. I see Kansas winning that, and then I've got Kansas beating North Carolina altogether.
I have Kansas losing to Michigan State in the finals. I think Izzo probably works that magic once again, and he never seems to run out of it. Keep wishing this guy would go take an NBA job somewhere.
Right.
Get out of the Big Ten, but it never happens. So what are you going to do? All right, well, bring your bracket in, or better yet, come in and fill one out here. Sponsored by RP Lux Residential, and Dave Hagan got those got those for us, come on in, ask Emily for a bracket or whoever is behind the bar. We'll be happy to give you one, fill it out, and we're going to give out some gift cards to the top finishers. Anything else coming up this week with you, Dave?
No, enjoy the tournament, enjoy it safely. Thursday, St. Patrick's Day, so we got the first day of the tournament and St. Patrick's Day. I'm sure it'll be extremely busy in here and everybody will be having fun, so enjoy the weekend. It's one of the best sports weekends of the year.
Absolutely.
Thursday and Friday are two of the top sports days in this country, in my opinion.
I agree, and in fact, Emily knows that. She came in today and said, I'm starting not to feel real well, and I said, this is how you sell it on Monday. So if you're watching this, start selling it Monday or Tuesday that you're starting to feel a little sick. Nobody believes you Wednesday at 4 p.m.
Right.
when you start coughing in front of your boss.
Exactly.
That's just BS. Nobody
Right.
needs that. All right, well, enjoy the tournament, everybody. Come in and watch the game here at the Broadable Tavern, the lavish Broadable Tavern. We'll be here for all of your food and drink and basketball needs. Take it easy. Thank you.